Merry Christmas to you. I hope your December is going well so far and that you've been able to reach out and engage with people that don't know Jesus yet. Today I'd like to talk and give you some conversation starters to share Jesus at Christmas time, and I'll give you some themes that you can use, and I'll give you the actual starting conversation of what you would say and some follow-up questions in that conversation also. So you may be at a party, you may be on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, even on Boxing Day, you might like to ask some of these questions, engage with some of these themes. So to start off, just some thoughts about starting and navigating these conversations. Be genuine and interested in the other person's thoughts. Avoid pushing or judging. So just a reminder, I'm sure you know that, but just a reminder for you today. Share personal stories of how your faith impacts you rather than presenting a debate. Don't get into a debate. Always remember that we're trying to keep people in the conversation. We're trying to move them in their journey of coming to know Christ. And pray for opportunities at these gatherings that you're attending this Christmas time, whether it's coffee catch-ups, whether it's going out with a group of friends, whether it's Christmas Day, whatever it is this Christmas time, make sure you stop and you pray for those wonderful opportunities, knowing that the Holy Spirit is hearing our prayers, and He is the one that then is creating those open doors in people's hearts for us to have conversations. Recently, someone shared a story about being at work at a Christmas party, and they asked a colleague, have you ever thought about why Christmas is such a big deal? And that led to a very meaningful discussion about hope and purpose during a tough year. So I thought that was interesting. People are already engaging with the information that's been going out there on our podcast and also on our blog, on our website. Let's talk about this first theme, and I've got 6 themes for you today. I'm going to keep those short, give you some really practical things for you to be able to do. Number 1, the deeper meaning of Christmas traditions. We want to drive or engage with people into this space, the deeper meaning of Christmas traditions. So the conversation starter might be, Christmas has so many traditions like trees, gifts and carols. What do you think they point to that is deeper? What do you think they point to that is deeper? Isn't that a great question to ask? That's people thinking about, do the trees, do the gifts, do the carols point to something that is deeper? Now, as a bit of a follow-up, you could talk about how many traditions have origins in the story of Jesus' birth. So depending on what they say, you could simply say that the traditions have origins in the stories of the birth of Jesus. And you might say, for me, it's about celebrating the birth of Jesus, who brought light into the world. Have you ever thought about why Christmas is such a big deal? So you're giving your experience. For me, it's about celebrating the birth of Jesus, who brought light into the world. But then you're kind of flipping it, removing the heat, so to speak, of the comment that you just made. Have you ever thought about why Christmas is such a big deal? And see what people say. A friend shared with me how their kids asked why there's a star on top of the tree. And that led to a chance to explain the star over Bethlehem, start to unpack the Christmas story, all through this major theme of the deeper meaning of Christmas traditions. A second theme might be gratitude in the Christmas season. A starting conversation might be, Christmas makes me think about the things I'm thankful for. What's something you're especially grateful for this year? What's something you're especially grateful for this year? And then you could use their response to share your gratitude for Jesus as the source of hope and peace in your life. Again, as I'm always saying on this podcast and through our memberships and through our teaching, I'm wanting you to share your authentic life. So if that is true for you and that's how you live your life, then it's easy to talk about Jesus, talk about how he is the source of hope and peace in your life. You might say, for me, Jesus is my constant in the ups and downs of life. What do you think keeps you grounded? What a great question. For me, Jesus is my constant in the ups and downs of life. What do you think keeps you grounded? One listener shared with me that they started a gratitude conversation at a Christmas dinner, and that led to a family member opening up about their struggles and asking how they stay positive. So these conversation starters and really getting the right question, that right open-ended question, really provides a great environment for deeper conversations to take place. A third theme might be the story behind Christmas carols. The story behind Christmas carols. A conversation starter might be, what's your favourite Christmas carol? Well, that's an easy one to ask, isn't it? What's your favourite Christmas carol? The words in some are so beautiful, they make me think about the deeper meaning of the season. So that's your starter. What's your favourite Christmas carol? You know, the words in some are so beautiful, they make me think about the deeper meaning of the season. For example, you might say something like this, I love Silent Night because it talks about the holy night when Jesus was born. It's amazing to think about the peace that he came to bring. What do you think of that idea? What do you think of that idea? So again, you're really unpacking this Christmas story in all of these themes I'm giving you, and you're asking people to engage with it. And it's interesting to see where people are at, how much they know of the Christmas story, and then what their responses are from there. Recently, at a carol service, someone shared how singing about peace on earth opened up a conversation about what true peace means. And that's a great testimony, isn't it? Because you may be going to Christmas carol services or having people over to watch them online. And that's a great testimony there of how we were singing about peace and it opened up a conversation about what true peace means. You could ask a question that leads down to those conversations. Let me ask you a question. Are you equipped to share your faith? Is your church ready to do the same? Our evangelism training helps both individual believers and church leaders foster a culture of evangelism. It equips everyday Christians to have natural faith conversations and provides pastors with the tools to train their church. With flexible online resources, you can learn at your own pace, anytime, anywhere. Don't leave evangelism to chance. Visit evangelisminaustralia.com to get started. A fourth theme would be the purpose of gift giving. The purpose of gift giving, and you might start the conversation by saying, why do you think gifts are such a big part of Christmas? Why do you think gifts are such a big part of Christmas, and what do you think the gifts symbolize? So that's a very powerful question. What do you think gifts symbolize? You might be able to share how gift giving reminds you of God's gift of Jesus to the world. So it really brings the connection of gift giving and Jesus as a gift to the world. You might say something like, for me, it's about celebrating God's ultimate gift of love through Jesus. What's the best gift you've ever received? So here's an example where you are saying something that's quite direct, but then following up with a question that then makes them think and really takes the heat, I guess, out of that initial comment that you make, depending on where your non-believing friend is. Let me say it again. For me, it's about celebrating God's ultimate gift of love through Jesus. What's the best gift you've ever received? Great question. Someone also shared recently that a friend had asked them why Christians exchange gifts, and that led to a discussion about God's generosity. And I'm thinking of people that would have asked that question, why do Christians exchange gifts? It's for all of those people that aren't Christians, that maybe have other faith traditions, and you might be able to think of people right now in your world that are from different faith traditions, and you could have that conversation. Have you ever wondered why Christians exchange gifts? And again, it can lead to a discussion about God's generosity or the gift of Jesus at Christmas time. A fifth theme that I'd love for you to engage with is the wonder of the Christmas story. A question or a conversation starter would be, have you ever heard the full Christmas story? It's such a fascinating account of hope and miracles. Have you ever heard the full Christmas story? It would be interesting actually to see what your friends say to that, what your family members would say to that. Share the story of Jesus' birth in a relatable way, focusing on the idea of God coming close to humanity. So if you have that opportunity, when you ask the conversation starter, have you ever heard the full Christmas story? Then if they say, tell me more, make sure that you share this in a very relatable way. Focus on the idea of God coming close to humanity. You could say, for an example in your life, the part that always amazes me is how God chose to come into the world as a baby. It's such a humble way to bring hope. What do you think about that? So that's a fantastic segue. The part that amazes me most about the Christmas story is how God chose to come into the world as a baby. It's such a humble way to bring hope. What do you think about that? Or you could ask the question, what brings you hope in life? Dad recently read the Christmas story at a family gathering, leading to an unexpected question from his skeptical brother. It's another story that I heard recently, again, around the wonder of the Christmas story. Dad was simply reading that at a family gathering and led to this unexpected brother asking some questions. So you might be able to actually do that when it comes to this Christmas story. Maybe you can share the Christmas story at one of your own family gatherings this year. Just something short, not something that's going to take you half an hour to read. Something brief, maybe a kid's story just to remind everybody this is a Christmas story. Or before you have lunch on Christmas Day, maybe you want to quickly read a Christmas story that might take 1 minute or 2 minutes maximum. And here's my final theme that would help you start some conversations this Christmas time. The significance of light at Christmas. The significance of light at Christmas. A conversation starter may be, have you noticed how much light plays a role in Christmas decorations? Have you noticed how much light plays a role in Christmas decorations? Why do you think that is? Now, honestly, I don't think most people have given any thought to this. I'm not sure how many Christians give a lot of thought to this, but it's a beautiful theme, an obvious theme when people going out and looking at Christmas lights all the time to ask that. Have you noticed how much light plays a role in Christmas decorations? Why do you think that is? You could talk about how Jesus is called the light of the world, bringing hope in dark times. Or you might actually say, for me, the lights remind me of how Jesus came to bring light to our lives. Have you ever thought about that connection? Again, you're just dribbling bits of the gospel out there for people to hear, for people to maybe have learnt something for the first time, and giving them this opportunity then to engage in a conversation. So, beautiful theme, the significance of light at Christmas. Someone was sharing with me recently that they did a neighbourhood walk to see Christmas lights, and it sparked a meaningful conversation with a neighbour about why light symbolises hope. So that was interesting. They got into a conversation and it raised this whole thing of hope. So there's so many ways, and I've just given you 6 themes, so to speak, of how you can engage, how you can have conversations with people this Christmas time. And I'm really praying that there's at least one here that you go, wow, that is so interesting. I'm going to use that as the Lord leads. And so I want to leave you today with this thought to be bold and be loving this Christmas time. Step out in faith, knowing that God works through your conversations with people. Step out in faith. Look for where He's leading. Look for where He sparks a thought, brings something back to your mind, and be bold and go into those conversations. Know that the Holy Spirit is with you as you talk with people. First of all, it starts with prayer. As you go off for every event, every Christmas dinner, whatever it is, pray as you go. Pray before you go out your door. Pray as you're in your car. Pray as you're on your way. 1 Peter 3:15 says something that I'm sure you've heard: always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. Again, Merry Christmas to you. I pray this is really helpful for you. I want to invite you to share your own Christmas story conversations back with me so I can hear what's going on. Why don't you send us a message on social media, Facebook or Instagram, or send an email to team, TEAM, at evangelisminaustralia.com. I'd love to hear what's going on in your world, how you've been sharing. Well, until next week, go well at all the Christmas events that you're engaging with. I'll be praying for you. Pray for me also as I engage with people.